I'm not. Don't lie. What do you mean? No. Okay, we'll get into it. Don't worry. But hang on. Let me sort this out. Hide hard. There you go. Okay. I think we're alright. I think we're alright. It's fine. Such a pro. I try my best. No, the reason is that on my main channel, the main Kenco one, it's really difficult to also, what the hell's Latifi doing here? Yeah, like, because I split audio with Spotify, and then I had to change stream keys, but then it wouldn't work, but I don't even know. I'm hoping the leaderboard looks okay. I hope it'll sort itself out. But we're here. We're at Monza. We do have Casper, but he's gone for dinner. And that's probably why it all hell let loose, but it's fine. It's all good. It's all good. Hassan, Jack, Charlie, Ben, hello guys, welcome. Bob as well, good to see you. We don't have full grid. No, we have about 14 drivers. I'm just curious to know who the Williams is. But hey ho. What a pro. I know, right? I know. So, I mean, I'm just going to go with it. We got 15 minutes left to Q1. I want a track map, ideally. I don't know if we can get a track map. Let's go and have a little look at Josh anyway. Josh is just leaving the pits. So is Jay Robinson. I thought he wasn't qualifying. Benson, good evening. This will be proper commentary when Casper's back, by the way. It's impossible to commentate on your own. So, as Adam goes and sets the fastest lap, let's go. Is the game too loud, by the way? Can you actually hear the game? I hope you can. It's very loud. It's fine. Cool. Okay, so I don't know if Adam's doing 2 hot laps, but we'll go and have a little look. Oh my god, the HUD's now not working. What? Okay, it is working. Is it working? Oh, apparently he didn't break through there. It's fine. We'll get through Q1, and then hopefully Casper's back for Q2 and Q3. Oh, okay. What the hell is he doing? Jesus Christ. Right, anyway, there's a yellow flag sector 2. That's because of Adam and Josh. Adam's now stopped on the track. I think he was letting somebody pass, though, so that's not a yellow flag, ideally. But yeah, we do have a full grid, so it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Watch Josh spin, because you are watching him now. Yeah, I should. As Josh goes... sorry, not Josh. Ben goes and sets a 120 something. Oh my gosh. Wait. Hold up. Uh-oh. Wait. I have a side widget. Does this work? Aww. Hold up. Wait a minute. This is what we wanted. It's fine. Right. Okay, we're good. Stop edit or save layout. Right. Is this gonna work? Maybe?
And we have a side widget.
Hey, hello.
Hello.
We won't talk about what happened at the start of the stream, but it's okay. Welcome, Casper. Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
I broke everything.
Oh.
As normal. But hey, just was to be expected.
Don't break the drivers.
Yes, exactly. How was your dinner? Everyone in chat was
good.
Yeah,
It was
good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. There's only 3 times on the leaderboard at the minute anyway.
Key points from practice, I'd say, is that Ferrari have been working in terms of team orders, practicing the toe, and looks like they're doing it here again. On a practice lap though, but we'll see what Joel does here. Most notably, we've had our first red flag of the season as well in practice, didn't we?
Yes. I don't know how to explain a game glitch, but yeah, we did have a car stopped in the middle of the track halfway through practice 1. I don't know if the driver sort of just stopped working or run out of batteries. But yeah, he wasn't doing too well, so we did red flag the session. But hey ho.
Yeah, so Monza, very long track, 2 very long straights, well, 3 technically. So if you tow, you can make up tenths of a second. It's pretty much impossible to beat it without a tow. And I think that's what the Ferraris are setting up for now.
That's it, Ben. That is it. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't really know what we're going to sort of see in this session today. Obviously, we've got both the Ferraris here, both starting their hot laps. as Joel is very closely. Oh
Oh,
gosh, it's like
wow.
they're fighting into turn 1 here. What is going on? I don't know if they're teammates or if they want to set past the
Um,
fastest times, but what is this is qualifying, guys. Jeez. We'll get on board anyway with unless they've already done their hot laps.
oh, I would be surprised if that's it. Yeah, very, very strange things from Ferrari. Yeah, and we have a
Hopefully, Jack.
spin in Ascari from
Uh,
Smits, I believe that is in the AlphaTauri.
Control 6. There we go. Yeah, he is off the track indeed. That is the yellow flag for Sector 3. I don't know if that will impede anybody's fastest lap. But he has gone straight to green again. I don't know if he might go back in the pits for some fresh tyres. But yeah, obviously the tyre choice. Does it matter in sprint qualifying? Not sure if you can confirm
I
that.
don't believe it does unless you start on the tyre. I genuinely cannot remember.
Oh, okay. No worries at all. Yeah, I mean, obviously Parc Fermé rules apply now, so whichever setup they do have now will be the one that they have to use throughout the entire race weekend. We are on a split weekend, a sprint weekend. So if any of you are obviously aware of the real life Grand Prix as well, a sprint weekend basically means quali's on the Friday. There is a correct me if I'm wrong in saying this, 25% race, is it on?
Yeah, we've got it on F1 2021.
Yeah, 25% race pretty much tomorrow, and then there'll be the full 100% race. Well, 50% in our eyes, but obviously the full race will be on Sunday, and whichever position they get today will be what they start in for the sprint race tomorrow. But yeah, it's obviously as well. I just like to say we don't have Max Chapman in this session, so he'll be starting at the back of the sprint race, which could be an interesting one. Well, not the sprint race; it's the full race, I believe he's part of. I'm not too sure.
I think he's attending sprint and full, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, okay.
But Ferrari's continued to fire a little bit earlier on the timeline. We saw Jay go a little bit deep into turn 1. You know, track evolution's not quite there yet. It's quite, you know, a slick surface, so missing a braking point and you'll end up in the polystyrene boards.
Yeah, as we've seen quite a few of that happen, especially in my career last year. I was always finding my way off the track, over the gravel and into the polystyrene. But hey ho, these drivers are obviously better than me, and that's why I'm in this position and not actually on the track. So
yeah, Joel and Callum look like they're just fighting. I guess everybody's making it through to Q2, but
yeah, that's the thing with this. Obviously, we've only got I think 14, 15 drivers today, so yeah, I'm not too sure. There's an Aston Martin as well. I think that's Harper. I'm not sure. Is he in the session or?
I think he retired. He set a time and retired.
Oh, okay. So I mean, I guess he still got through anyway. So yeah, it's unusual to.
Crash.
Yeah, that is true. We've got Adam in P1. He's happy there. Ben's currently P2. Both set on the soft, so they've actually used a set of soft tyres to get through to this session. And then we got Josh in P3. Again, most of the people in the pits at the moment. Joel's still out along with his teammate. And then I think we've got Jay Robinson as well, who still has not set a time, along with Hikes, Andre, and whoever is SIL, I should know. Ah, they're new driver, aren't they? We didn't have any Alpines last week, so.
Yeah, so 4 drivers not set a time yet. Obviously, isn't very unusual. We saw it last week or 2 weeks ago in Bahrain. Sorry, and you know you don't really have to push that hard. But once again, it's about setting that benchmark. If you know how fast you can go, then you know how you compare to the rest of the field. And I think that's just what we saw with Hikes.
Yeah, exactly. So he's just split the Red Bull and the McLaren there. P3 in his Alfa Romeo, which is good to see. He might be going for a second hot lap, but this might be sort of a middle lap to recharge the batteries. Yeah, he's only on 25% ERS there, so this definitely will not be a hot lap from him. But yeah, interesting to see the top front runners using the soft tyres, even though they could potentially use these, obviously, at a different time in the session. But can we see some cars that are not red? Well, this one's still red, isn't it? This one's still red. I mean, the problem is there's not many cars out on the track that is not red at the moment. We've got a nice Red Bull here from Josh. As Andre goes and sets P1 in his Alpine. Quicker sector 1, quicker sector 2, and only a yellow sector 3 there. So yeah, very good time from the Alpine here. Again, all of these times, you know, it could sort of play forth from what they get in Q2 and Q3. But yeah, obviously there'll be a few people that are not really trying their full most. But obviously, again, yeah, we'll see that later on in the session.
Yeah, Andre beats Adam by 1,000th of a second on his lap time. I believe that was on mediums compared to Adam's softs, if I'm not wrong. So obviously alternating strategies here. It does look very tricky out on track, but as we've said, drivers are now competing for these lap times, and Crickster is still yet to set one.
Yeah, as we see Josh going very wide there, almost track limits, as I believe he's going to, I don't know if he's, if this, I think he's just got, Josh has just gone and started his first hot lap here, or his one of them, so we'll go on board with Josh and we'll sort of see how he does take this, with all the apexes and things like that.
Yeah, I believe because he did run wide, that parabolic of his lap is invalidated either way, so
Oh.
I don't think that's, yeah, he's not going for a hot lap, his light is flashing out the rear.
Ah, okay, no worries. We'll still critique him anyway.
Yeah, Andre beats his time by 3/10, I think he's the only driver realistically that's even trying to push at all. Everything else, everybody else is just kind of taking it slow. 3/10 out of the pack is probably not what we're going to see at the end of Q3.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a difficult one, Monza. It's a very sort of short track, but again, I'm not sure if we might see a few seconds between them, or it might just be a few hundredths of a second. And Archie, in answer to your question, I don't know why they're laggy. They weren't laggy last week, but they're laggy this week. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Technology, it's a strange one. I can't answer it for you, unfortunately.
Talking about improving, keep an eye on Joel. Gone improved massively by 7/10 in sector number 1. I think that's his first proper sector. Coming through sector 2, 1.5 seconds up, so he might be on here for provisional pole in Q1.
Yeah, he's just going down the main straight now, ready for the last turn. And there's a yellow flag in sector 3 there. I believe that's just Callum slowing down there to give him a nice tow down the straight, to see what he can get. He's currently setting personal best, but he's not going faster than Andre at the moment. Again, this session doesn't really matter too much until we get into Q2 and Q3, as Joel goes P3 with a 121.4 decimal for 0.4.
Yep, 2.4 second improvement. Callum's now behind him. That's going to be a nice stow for him. Let's see if Callum can improve his time majorly. Obviously, yeah, as he said, everybody's making it through. Not really that important, but still nice to see. Still nice to see what you can pull out of the bag to, you know, lay out your next sessions.
Yeah, exactly, and you know the drivers will use this as practice as well. You know, it's all practice after all, and you know the more times they go around the track, the more little things they learn. Where they can put the pedal down more, and as Callum's completely ruined the front of his car there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Ferrari's not going to be too happy about that. Luckily he managed to keep the car rolling though. Otherwise that might have impeded lots more drivers. But there is debris on the track, and yeah, Callum won't be too happy with that loss of the front wing there.
Yeah, we saw him do a few pretty much joy laps, so those tyres are worn in now. They're not going to be, you know, the grippiest tyres on the track. So if you dropped that a little bit faster and a little bit harder, I think you would have been out for Q2.
Yeah, certainly so. And we've got a message from Hassan here. Your top 3 predictions. Who are we predicting to get through to Q? To even, you know, who do you think is going to be on the front row of the sprint race tomorrow?
I mean, I have to put Joel Foxstall up there. You know, championship contender, last season championship winner. You know, let's see if he can carry that momentum through. P2, it's actually a bit of a tricky one. Max Chapman isn't here, and Josh O'Mara seems to struggle a little bit. So, you know what? I might actually have to go with Andre for P2.
Yeah, it's obviously I think Max is away on business this week. So yeah, that's it. He's marketing for the team. As I think we've got a message from Casper as well here. Hello. No. Okay. I think he just whispered something. Can anyone lend me a tow? Well, if Dylan's not here, then you haven't got a teammate. So no.
P3 is a bit of a difficult one. I genuinely cannot think who would, you know, put their car on P3. There's a lot of drivers that might be able to do that here.
Yeah, thanks, Casper. He did do a Charles Leclerc. He certainly did a Charles Leclerc. As we don't really have many drivers out on track at the moment. We do have Silver. He wasn't here last week. He is Andre's teammate in the Alpine. Yet to see sort of what he can do. But there's only 1 minute 38. Oh gosh, the time is not going down. 1 minute 33. There we go. Left of the session.
Yeah, last few minutes, last few seconds of Q1. I think Hikes are starting his last and final hot lap here at Monza, and that is shortly going to be joined by Silver, I believe.
Yeah, the only 2 drivers we actually have out on the track at the moment. I think everybody's been staying in the pits, sort of getting their mind focused again for Q2, because obviously that's the one that matters with the top 10 drivers. So yeah, it's obviously Hikes' and Silver's last trip around Monza. Well, I say last trip, this session anyway, and they'll certainly be back out for the next one.
Heinz goes pretty much 1/10 slower from his personal best. I don't think that's going to be a record-breaking lap, and he does run a little bit wide, keeps on the track nicely though, coming through the second Lesmos and up to Ascari. Sorry, quick water break. He has to keep it nice and tidy through Ascari, which I think he has managed to do very nicely, but he does run a little bit wide. Doesn't invalidate, but that's going to cost him a lot of time.
Yeah, I don't think he'll improve this time round. He's set in yellow sectors, and I'd just like to apologise as well on my behalf for the graphics. I'm not too sure why they're failing me today, but they should improve hopefully. I'm not too sure what to do, but they should be alright. Yeah, he's not happy with that. He's going straight in the pits there, and that is Q1 done and dusted. And no drivers.
Yeah, looking at his steering angle though, it does seem like the Alpha is creating a lot of understeer there, whether that's setup related or car related. You know, maybe even track conditions. It does seem quite bad.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, indeed. So Andre tops the table, P1 in Q1. Obviously, everybody's going to make it through to the next one, and I think that's a Ryan Harper DNF, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if he's still in the session or if he's sort of just gone back to his hotel, but yeah, a bit of a shame to see Ryan there as obviously the DNF driver or disqualified. I'm not too sure.
Oh, I think he has actually completed it, just a retired driver.
Ah, okay, no worries. So he will be in Q2.
Yeah. So on to Q2 we go.
And while that's happening, I'm just gonna restart the overlays. See if it makes any. He spun out. That's fine. Yeah, there's about a minute gap between Q2. Please work.
Right. Q2 a bit more exciting this time. 3 drivers are going to be eliminated. The bottom 3 drivers are not going to make it through into the top 10 shootout, so stakes are a little bit higher here. It does seem we have lost Ryan Harper though.
Yeah, not too sure. Maybe the car packed up on him. I'm not too sure. But it's nice to see a lot of the people wearing red T-shirts here at Monza. I'm not sure if that's the Ferrari fans or what it is, but lots of people wearing red today.
Yeah, seems like it. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what Joel can put in. I don't think he's going to show his true pace just yet. That's what happened last week. He didn't really push until Q3, but he got denied of that final lap time. And it looks like 3 drivers are going to be heading out at the same time. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit congested.
Yes. Sorry, I'm just on the phone.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of people on track already, given, you know, the session has just started. Usually we have a few minutes before people start going out, but you do want to make sure you're through. This is a very important session to make it into the top 10 shootout, so isn't really, you know, the hardest one to get out of, but you have to make sure to get pole position here.
Yeah, and if we throw it forward, like, you know, 24, 48 hours, you know, this session could be the one that decides if they end up getting points on Sunday or not, really. I suppose.
And on Saturday as well, to be fair.
Yeah, there's also a few points to be handed out on the sprint race as well. So again, all of this matters for the championship. So I guess this is a very important session for the drivers to make sure they don't go out in the bottom 5 or 4.
Now here's Michael. I know I did say that Andre is going to put it P2. But Ferrari seems to have been using the toe a lot more than the Alpine team has. I think they're going to absolutely clear everybody in Q3 by miles, by a few tenths at least. You know, just looking at the, you know, sheer size of the straight at Monza, down into turn 1, it's absolutely huge.
Yeah, as you've just seen Ben conveniently go off the track there. It seems to be every time that I flick over to a driver, they seem to be going off the track, so hopefully it's not the commentator's curse here. But we are seeing Smits now, who's just crossed the line for his first hot lap of Q2.
Yeah, drivers are starting now their first hot lap. Adam first in line. Looks like he's kept it nice and tidy through the first chicane, running up to Curva Grande, and he's going to be heading down into the second chicane. A very difficult one to get right on this game, especially. You know, you can either take the safe route or the challenging route, and if you place your suspension just right, there's definitely a few tenths to be gained there.
Yeah, certainly so. So Adam's going to be setting the benchmark for all the other drivers. He is in a Williams, but to be honest, he has made a lot of progress these last few weeks. And I think the Williams garage will be very, very proud of him.
Looks like his rear is stepping out a lot, but he seems confident with that car, throwing it into the corners. Yeah, as he said, we've seen him do a lot of progress, and he's definitely not a slow driver. He can definitely put very competitive lap times, as we've seen in Q1.
Yes, certainly so. I feel like Adam's a very quick driver, but it'd be good to see him sort of fighting for positions in the race and working his way up in the race. But you know, we could still see that from him.
Yeah, that car does not look stable at all, though definitely an aggressive setup on Adam's side. Might be going for a few positions on the sprint. Look at it, it's just stepping out from under him, constantly correcting it, but I don't think there's going to be a bad time at all.
No, not at all. As Adam goes with 121.8, which sets the benchmark position as we just go down here to Smits, who crosses the line. Cannot go quicker than Adam there. However, Zach in his Aston Martin does indeed go quicker by 4 tenths. So yeah, quite a slow lap there by Smits. I'm not too sure if he had a few issues on one of the sectors there. As Hikes just goes P1.
Yeah, I believe Zach might have actually gained a lot of time just from the toe off of Smith, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, drivers are now starting to cross the line. Wilson next to cross and goes P4. Smith is dropping back down in the order.
Yeah, and Smits is definitely going to have to set a new time and better time there. Obviously, there's a good easily 6-7 temps there between himself and P4. As we see Jay's on personal bests. And he cannot, I'm not too sure what happened there, Sector 3, but he's 8 seconds down at 1:30, so he'll definitely be going again for another hot lap.
Joel Foxhall coming around for Parabolica, last corner, keeping it nice and close to cross the line as early as possible, and it is going to be a P3, so not quite P1, and I think that just might be the effect of the toe.
Yeah, interesting to see Joel P3 there, but again, you know, I don't know if he'll be happy with that, or if, you know, he's on medium tyres as well after all, and so is Adam, so you got to take that into consideration as well. Obviously, the tyres that they're using in this session isn't the ones they have to use tomorrow. I do not believe, don't quote me on that, but yeah, it's interesting to see the different tyre choices.
Yeah, Callum, the only driver who has not set a lap time that is on his hot lap, coming around for Parabolica, I don't think he kept it nice and tidy, but he does keep it really close to the corner. Oh, and he does decide to pit instead, so he must have lost a lot of time throughout the lap there.
As there's only 10 minutes left to go of Q2. And yeah, there's a few drivers in the pits. We've got Josh, I believe, who's on his out lap at the moment. He'll be ready to start his hot laps, or should I say, in just a moment.
And if I'm not wrong, I think Jay has gone for a consecutive one, so he's about to cross the line. And he does improve up to P5 ahead of Archie,
Nice.
and now Ben has started this hot lap, and so has Crickster.
Yeah, it's good. I believe Ben might get the toe there from Jay Robinson as Archie goes and sets P1 just by 3 hundredths from Hikes there in the Mercedes, which is good work from him. However, I don't think Archie's got a teammate this week. I think that was Harper, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't believe Archie has a teammate this week, which means he's just going to be dropping further and further back as time goes on and the toe gets utilized. So that's just really unfortunate for him. He just has to get in a position where, you know, he can just get someone slipstream, otherwise it's not going to go too well for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and Josh goes off second chicane and he's completely thrown his car off the road.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if that will impede the McLarens, but it is good work to see here from both Jay Robinson and Ben Mitchell. I'm not sure if they're too far away for the toe, potentially, but it'd be interesting to see if Jay Robinson does slow down on this straight to allow Ben to get that toe, but I'm not too sure what's going on. They might not be.
I believe Callum's coming out now. He had to set a lap time, and yes, he is. He's at the end of the pit lane now. And Crickster goes fastest by pretty much 8 tenths. That is incredible.
Oh wow, what a time by the Alpine driver there, as we go and see Ben also cross the line. Can he get anywhere near his teammate?
I think that might have been invalidated if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I believe so. It hasn't actually gone valid, so he must have gone wide at one of the turns. But he's still got 8 minutes to go, so that's not a problem. He'll be able to get in the pits, change those tyres, and go back out again.
Disappointment for Archie there a little bit. We said last sorry, 2 weeks ago, the
Mhm.
Mercedes set very competitive Q2 times, but lacked a little bit in Q3. Made it up in the race, but yeah, but I think they could have definitely done a lot more if they just set a competitive Q3 time. Hope that's not what we see with Archie today.
No, so it'll be interesting to see as well in Q2 or the end of Q2, Q3 if we do sort of get to see any of the drivers go below that 120 mark. A 120.5 is obviously a very good time, but it'll be good to see if any of the drivers can sort of compete and get under that 120.
Take a look at Ascari. 4 drivers are pretty much
Oh,
clogged up there. They have
I've
to make
just
a lot of
seen.
space.
Sorry, I've just seen Silver there go round in Sector 3 and slam the wall. I don't think there's too much damage done, but he's definitely impeded one of the Ben's hot lap potentially there.
Yes, and Ben has also invalidated on the exit of Ascari. I might have put him off a little bit, but I think Callum is now starting his hot lap. No toe ahead of him, but there is a few people behind him.
So I've just seen Jack's message in chat. Yes, 100%. It'll be interesting to see. I keep saying that phrase, don't I? I should stop saying that. But yeah, there's still no time by Josh. Oh, go ahead.
Turn 1, I think there's been a little bit of a conflict there between the McLaren and the Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo just spinning, I think, touching the curb on turn 1 and just spinning it around, losing the rear end.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think, yeah. Sorry, I'm literally dying of coughing, so...
Yeah, no worries. Callum yet to set a time. He is on a hot lap right now, coming up to the sector 2 line. Let's see how much he can get his delta up. And 53.5 for a sector 2 time. Not too bad, but he goes really deep on Ascari. Doesn't keep it nice and tidy, and he runs a little bit wide. Still valid, but that's nowhere good. That's not going to be anywhere near a competitive time. Sorry.
Yeah, certainly a shame to see Andre, Ben, Callum, and Josh, the drivers who's at the bottom of the leaderboard, all yet to set a time. So even the drivers who have set a time, and if it's not even good enough, they're still currently going through to Q3 unless the drivers can get a valid time in. Obviously, we are on strict conditions as here as well. So if all 4 tyres go out of the white lines, then the lap will be invalidated.
Smits is yet to set a better time. He is dropping back the order. You know, he's set, I believe, a second time. And he's just falling back as time's gone on. He hasn't been able to improve at all.
Yeah,
So he needs to try and get his Alpha Tauri up there.
100%. The marshals aren't going to be too happy with the Ferrari of Callum. He has just gone straight through all the polystyrene down into turn 1, smashing through the corner boards, but he was still weaving, so there won't be any penalties for that one.
I say Sebastian Vettel to that one. I don't think he's going to impede any of the McLarens behind him. I think they're too far back for that to make an impact, and Ben is on his outlap currently, but I think Jay is actually going to improve. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, we believe it's actually Jay's birthday tomorrow, so he will not be participating in the sprint race tomorrow, which means he'll be starting last on the race on Sunday. But it's good to see him at least trying on quali today and just sort of seeing where he can be. But yeah, a very happy early birthday for Jay.
Yeah, of course, just putting yourself up against the other drivers, see where you place against them is good enough. You know, you can test your pace against the others, but this coming up to Parabolica looks like you might get impeded by Sime actually. Looks like it's just going to be a long, nice tow down to the finish line. Can Jay improve? And he goes P2.
Wow.
That is the effect of the tow. That is the power of the tow. I don't even think it was that strong of a lap, honestly, until Parabolica, where you got the tow. And that just shows how incredibly strong it is.
Yeah, certainly so. Tow or not to tow. Down Monza, there's lots of straights. So, yeah, the teams will definitely be looking into that. And if you don't have a teammate, then you're going to suffer quite a bit around Monza, as Josh is probably experiencing here without his teammate, Max, as he's gone ahead and set P2 and goes even quicker than Jay Robinson here. A very good time there, only half a hundredth of a second behind P1. So, yeah, good lap, to be honest, by Josh there. And he'll be very happy with that. That probably sets him nicely in for Q3.
James Wilson, on one of his last hot laps, doesn't keep it nice and tidy through turn 2. He does actually have a little bit of a spin, but coming through to the second chicane, you know, it's very hard to get this right, and he looks like he is taking the safe route, but I'm kind of talking a lot here. Andre has set the fastest time by 4 tenths.
Yeah, again, both the Alpines looking very strong this session. Both the Ferraris are probably sweating a little bit at the minute. Obviously, we've got Adam, Smits, and Ben, who still has not set a time today. It'd be very good to see Ben at least get a valid time in. However, both the Ferraris could be knocked out if they don't go any quicker this session.
Yeah, Joel Foxall, my predicted pole sitter
Mm.
down in P10, that isn't looking too good for my prediction.
No,
Um,
I'm very shocked to see that. He is currently, I'm not sure if he's on a hot lap at the moment or not, but he is going to
he's
go and
on an
cross the
outlap,
line
yeah.
to start his hot lap.
Yeah, lots of drivers setting their laps. There are only 4 that
Mm-hmm.
aren't, and one of them is Crixler, the other is Jay Robinson, and I think they're going to be safe up there.
Yes, certainly so. I'm not sure if we're seeing the sector times here of Ben. Ben has set a time now as Adam Forbes goes P4 there. All the drivers out on their soft tyres as Ben takes it very wide run there. I'm not too sure if that was an invalidation. He's all sort of squiggly around here. But yeah, Ben does need to set a valid time as currently Joel Foxall is currently in the relegation zone. He doesn't look like he's going through to Q3 if he doesn't get a faster time.
Sorry about that motorbike outside, if you can hear that.
It's just an F1 car going by, it's fine.
Exactly. Yeah, lots of drivers on their hot lap, so, oh my god, and Smits loses it through Ascari, so it's his last opportunity now. Last chance to lift himself out of that bottom slot and make his way into Q3.
Meow.
Now indeed, Pikes will cross the line, and he has invalidated, so he has to go for one more. And looks like that is going to happen. Yeah, a lot of drivers starting their hot lap still. Callum and Joel goes P2.
Hey.
That's what we expect to see from Joel. Only 2 attempts behind, but Callum, his teammate, crucial to securing pole position, is still down in P11 in the relegation zone.
Yeah, this is the final minute here that really does matter. We can see lots of drivers all out. A few people staying in the pits, especially Andre there. But we're going to see a lot of drivers crossing the line here to start their final hot laps.
Joel has spun.
Okay.
Joel has spun down at turn 1, and I think that has impeded Crixter. But yeah, Callum on his final hot lap, he needs to make this count. He needs to improve. I don't think his team is going to get pole.
No, I don't think he'll get pole today. He's not too, at least on this session anyway, he's not too worried. He's comfortable there with a P2. It's interesting to see the J setting that P2, and he's already down to P7. So it just goes to show that the track evolution is certainly improving. I think that's the correct word.
Yeah, it is the correct word. Yeah, track evolution is increasing rapidly, and it looks like, I think that's Crixter that spun. He's just stopped on the side of the track for some reason, and that might have impeded Callum. I'm not too sure. I think he might have just been waiting, but only time will tell.
Yeah, hopefully that
he
hasn't...
is currently slower. Oh, and he's out.
Oh,
he is
I've
out.
just watched Callum smash into a wall there. That confirms that Callum is not going to be making it through to Q3. He keeps the tyres on the cars, but I'm pretty sure when I cut over to that his car was mid-air. So that was quite a collision there by Callum.
Yeah, that's Callum out of Q2. That is a shock, I'll be honest here.
Yeah.
That is a very big shock. I expect him to get through to Q3, you know, even setting top 5 times, helping his teammate get pole for the championship. But I think Ben is the last car to set a time in the Q2. Can he lift himself out of that relegation? So, oh no, he's invalidated.
No.
That is
It's interesting as well. There's a marshal here waving a green flag as Callum's just on reversing on the track. So he might need to go back to school on that one and learn the rules of racing as everyone else is waving the yellow one. But I'm not too sure what happened there. Shame to see though, Ben. P12 there, unable to set a faster time. I'm not too sure if that does confirm and validate Q2 there.
Yeah, that is Q2 over. Yeah, so the people who are out for you are Callum McGrath, Ben. I genuinely forgot Ben's last name.
Mitchell.
Mitchell, that's the one. And Smiths are going to be out of Q2. So the remaining people here are going to be in the top 10 shootout, and it looks like Ben has been there across the line.
He's just causing more havoc than he needs to for the team. But yeah, Callum, Ben, and Smits, they're all getting relegated, and they'll be like, I don't know, lowering their heads in shame as they're walking down the pit wall. Yeah, I'm not too sure again what happened there with Callum's crash, but I don't know if that was driver error or if just a lack of concentration.
Yeah, I believe it was driver error. It does look like the car just slipped inside of, out of his hands and just, you know, oversteered out of the final, Lesmo. But more interestingly to note, Ferrari and McLaren, you know, Jay, Joel, Callum and Ben, they don't have teammates going through into Q3, and the other favourites are definitely Alpine. They're the only ones, the only top runners that are going to be able to get a toe.
Yeah, as well as it'll be good to see the 119 times here. But we are obviously not going to see any of the drivers sandbagging in Q3, and there's obviously only 10 drivers here that yeah, can try and they've all got a very good opportunity at pole here, and we'll see how it pans out.
12
Safety
minutes, top 10
validations.
shootout, points to be made on Saturday and Sunday. This is it. So qualifying will bring it down to the wire. Like I said, Joel without a toe, this is going to be very difficult for him to get pole. But once we get into the actual sprint race, I think it's quite clear that the toe isn't going to be as advantageous in the wet. So whoever pretty much puts it on pole, if you get a good start, I think you're set for the rest of the race.
Yes, very much so. And yeah, sorry, I was just reading a message there. Ben's also said they had so many invalidations, so yeah, obviously track limits there were impeding Ben from getting a valid lap time that he would have been happy with. But obviously now he's got time to sort of speak with his engineers, find out why it was invalidating, and then get all ready for tomorrow in the sprint race to try and at least get some points. And again, Ben could still have a very good race on Sunday, providing he can get a few more places up tomorrow in the 25% race.
It's forecast to be a wet sprint race, and I think most people are going to be running dry setups here, or possibly even wet. That might be why we're seeing like a little bit, times off the pace. But at the same time, on Sunday, the race is going to become very dry, very quick, and that's where most of the points are made. That's where the bulk is. So you don't really want to set up, a setup just for the sprint race, because sure, it might get you pole, but you're going to drop back with that downforce in the dry.
Yeah, it's clouded over a little bit this session, but I don't think we're expecting any rain in Q3. But it was sunny at the start, and now it's got a little bit cloudy. Go ahead.
Yeah, we've had our first incident of Q3, Hike spinning it through turn 1. We've seen a few drivers do that today. It does seem very tricky for them. They can't really keep the traction coming through into turn 2, and it's quite close proximity, those two corners, so it's not the easiest, but I didn't think it would be this challenging for drivers, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess it's new tyres, isn't it? Some people are going out on old tyres that they were running. Obviously they've already been worn in, and some tyres are obviously brand new, and that's obviously why they're not quite worn in yet. They're not used to them, and I guess that's why they're losing the rear end. But yeah, I'm not too sure who is. But as Jay's just leaving the pits there without his teammates. Lots of both the Alpines have left the pit wall at the same time. It looks like Adam Forbes again is straight out the pits, and he's going to be the first driver to cross the line to start his first hot lap. I believe so.
Yes, you are correct. And Josh Omar, the only driver to remain in the pits. So 9 drivers out on track, 1 in the pits. I'm not quite sure what's going down at Red Bull Garage. You want to get these laps in Q3. You can set a delta, improve your lap times, find out where you went wrong, feel the track evolution. The more you stay in the pits, the less feel of you get,
Exactly that. Yeah, I'm not too sure what the Red Bull. There might be an issue with the car potentially. But yeah, interesting to see Josh sort of holding off there as the only driver, as 9 on the track and only 1 in the pits. So yeah, not too sure what he's playing at there. But again, he might be playing smart here and waiting for the drivers to put a bit more rubber on the track before he goes out and sets a time.
Absolutely, utilising the other drivers for a tow as well, maybe trying to plan a strategic time to drive out. You don't really want to go out alone here at Monza. You're going to lose a lot of time, but I think what I said is going to happen is going to happen. We see the 2 Alpines in Parabolica setting up for a tow. Adam keeping it very nice and tidy through Ascari, I believe so, yeah. Yeah, Adam keeping it very nice and tidy through Ascari, coming up to Parabolica. So a brilliant lap time in Q2. Let's see if he can replicate in Q3.
Yeah, again, Barista, I'm aware. I don't know why they're laggy. It was perfectly fine last week, but yeah, I'll try and fix them. And Adam goes ahead of 120.9. He'll be happy with that. It's not obviously the best time, but it is certainly a very good time there for Adam, as Joel goes ahead and sets the 7/10 quicker for 120.1. A very good benchmark score there for a provisional pole.
Archie coming across the line now. Archie is going to stay P3, but we've already seen lap times that are way faster than what we saw in Q2. Hikes an invalidated lap time, unfortunately, but crosses the line on 124.1. So I think he's going for one again. Zach crosses the line as well. That's going to put him P3. Beats Archie by just a little bit. You know, these drivers are setting competitive time, and James Wilson also beats Archie. So something's gone on, I think, with the car of the Mercedes, like I said, that we just hoped wouldn't happen.
Yeah, I can't call it porpoising, but certainly will be in the new game, or the new sim potentially, as Jay Robinson goes ahead and sets a P5, breaking between the Mercedes and the Haas, as Andre goes ahead sets P2 with his teammate going there P3. Very good times by all of them, but Joel does keep that provisional pole.
Yeah, that was a lot of talking now. We've got a bit more of a break, but yeah, the Mercedes, you know, set a brilliant time in Q2, absolutely stellar time. But once again, we're dropping back in Q3.
Yeah, sorry, just having a few issues with the graphics again. There we go.
Yeah,
okay.
Hikes coming through. Oscar not kept it for most time. He has gone a little bit wide. Lost, I would say, you know, huge amounts of time. But coming through Parabolica, we'll see if he decides to abort the lap or continue it. Looks like he's going to dive into the pits. Yeah, that is unfortunate from him. But Josh now coming through Ascari. He had to set time, and I think he's kept that really nicely. Lots of space either end. You know. Brilliant line through there, so he might be on for a very good lap time.
Yeah, he's also got a little bit of help from McLaren there as well down the straight. Even though his teammate is not there, I'm sure that would have helped a little bit as he comes around the final corner. Personal best, Sector 1, Sector 2. And Josh crosses the line in P5 there as Jay as well, just in front of him, as Andre breaks through the 120s, a 119.9.
Yeah, Andre, absolutely amazing lap. That's what we're hoping for. People breaking into 119s. But I must say that that is unfortunate for Josh. You know, if I was Max right now, I'd be quite angry. If your teammate can't secure that and you're fighting for a championship, you must be absolutely furious right now.
Yeah, again, we don't know if Josh made some mistakes there or if that was his fault, the best he could do. But yeah, 8 tenths behind P1. It's quite a considerable amount, but Josh will be certainly considering if you're going back to the pits, getting a new set of soft tyres on, or this will be a sort of recharge lap before he goes again. As Hike still is yet to set a time, and he's still in the pits as well.
Interestingly, you said that might not be his best, but realistically in Q3 you want to be putting out the best times. You've got a limited amount of tyres, a limited amount of time. You can't keep going out, you know, every lap has to be on it. No sandbagging anymore, and it is just, you know, the final push before the grid gets set for Saturday. And I'm not quite sure what we're seeing from the Alpine here. Looks like maybe conflicting team orders. Both want a tow. Looks like Andre's not gonna bug. He wants to stay behind, but yeah, they might just be coming in. You know, they are on lap number 3, both of them, and the tyres are a little bit worn in, but you know, we'll just see what they decide to do.
Yeah, there's 5 minutes left of the session, so they're not obviously rushing around. They're quite happy with P1 and P2. However, Joel definitely will not be happy with P2. He'll definitely, P1 and P3. But Joel definitely will be wanting going for that pole position as both the Alpines here are coming into the pits. And the only driver we have out on track at the moment is Zach in his Aston Martin, looking quite strong. I haven't really spoke too much about Zach here. But yeah, I mean, he's obviously quite a confident driver. It would be good to see him, you know, working his way up. He's obviously got himself into Q3 here, which is good. And it's whether or not he can break through and get a little bit higher up on for the sprint race tomorrow.
Yeah, it's been more of a ghost, I think, through these sessions. A bit more of a mystery. I haven't really seen him top any of the tables, you know, times. But he's got himself through to Q3, and now he's starting his hot lap. I believe it's his second hot lap of the session, with Hikes joining him soon on his second one as well. Right, Josh Omar, that's what we're hoping for, coming now out onto the track. He needs to improve. He needs to get his car at least, I'd say, in the top 3 if he wants to put it on pole for Sunday. You know, you can't really be lacking back in P5. The only way you can make up positions from there, I guess, is counting on people's mistakes. It's going to be very difficult for him.
Yeah, again, Josh is quite a confident driver, so even if he does quali sort of P4, P5, P6 today, he will certainly make up the positions in the sprint race. However, I can't really say that because unfortunately, I think he didn't do too well in the last race. I'm not too sure. I think he lost quite a few positions. I don't know what track it was. Bahrain, that was it.
Zach improving, but not by much. Only a 10th through Sector 2. I don't think he's going to improve massively. Maybe up into P7, maybe at a stretch into P6. So not the best lap, I'd say, from Zach. And with 2 minutes left, he has to decide, does he go out again, or does he box for new tyres?
Yeah, is he going to submit this lap, or is he going to box and try and go once more? As we see all the drivers here now leaving the pits, including Andre, and that is all 10 drivers across the line, as Zach is unable to improve on his time, which remains him P8 here.
I think it looks like he might be going for a back-to-back hot lap. Not enough ERS at all for that to happen in down in Monza, unfortunately. Way too many straights. But now we've got a bunch of people starting to set their final times. Archie has just crossed the line, and it looks like Josh, and I believe that is Crickster behind them.
Yeah, Josh 8/10 slower there, that lap potentially there, but he's certainly going for another hot lap as the DRS is open again, down into turn 1. He will get another opportunity after this if I'm not too sure if this is another warm-up lap to get the key in the tyres, or if he is sort of going full out here. But I definitely want to go and watch Joel Foxall here. I'm not too sure if this is, I think this is the start of his hot lap here as he crosses the line, starting at his second or third hot lap.
Yeah, and it's going to be his final hot lap. Alpine once again separating themselves from the group. We're going to be trying the toe once more, and it's just so powerful. They're pretty much on Joel. They're like squishing him pretty much in a sandwich at the moment. And we can probably expect both of them to jump him momentarily. There's just really not much he can do against the toe.
No, exactly that. And obviously, if that is the thing that lets Joel down, then he'll still be potentially starting on the front row. It's just whether or not he can get into turn 1 as Joel kicks up some gravel there. He is in fact slower sector 1 here than his best time. He takes that very wide there, down through turn 5 and 6, I think that was. But yeah, it'll be interesting. He might be able to make up some time here, but again, he doesn't have his teammate Callum to help him along on this lap.
Josh coming across the line. Can he improve at all his final lap? And he does jump
nice.
Jay by very small amounts. So people are starting to set their final laps across the line. Oh, and Jay has absolutely binned it out of the exit of Ascari. That is him out of the session. That yellow flag is going to stay there for a while.
That is not good. I've just seen there's that's not that corner's taken a few cars this session. As yeah, Jay has completely binned it there. Hopefully he's all right. As the front left tyre looks to come off, but they will cause a yellow flag through sector 2 and sector 3, so drivers will have to lift there. And
yeah, I believe Heights didn't actually lift through there. I was just on his car, his telemetry indicating he's just going full throttle. And look at this, nobody can go full throttle through there.
No, it's not.
This is absolute heartbreak for Alpine.
Awful. The ambulance was certainly in the right place for that one.
And it's cleared just now, so heartbreak for Alpine, absolute saviour for Joel Foxall.
Yeah, certainly so, but it has gone green now. Green flag for the whole track. There's only 11 seconds left of the session. But yeah, Joel has managed to start another hot lap here, as both the Alpines, only a few seconds left to go. Andre sets an even faster lap, 1:19.8, as the session has come to an end there. Everybody crosses the line, cannot set a new lap, and we've got a few more
has
tracks.
invalidated on Ascari, I think, but Josh, one more lap. A last opportunity out Parabolica, but I don't think he's quick enough. I don't think he's going to improve. Yeah, that is disappointing.
Have a look. Yeah, he's completely lost it. Oh, what is he playing at? I'm not too sure what happened there, but he's...
Yeah, I don't think the stewards are going to take a liking to that, I'll be honest.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's also... What the hell? There's also Mercedes that's just stopped on the track behind him as well. I don't know if you can see that, Casper. But this has completely ruined Q3 here, as no other drivers are unable to set a faster lap. Although Joel, for some reason, has just gone quicker. He's set his P2 there.
Yeah, not quite sure what's happening down at the end of Q3. Absolute chaos. But I think Crickster might be on his final lap. I'm not sure if they've actually made the line.
Oh, there's a
Looks
Haas
like he's pushing Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
That might be investigated by the stewards once more.
Oh my
but
gosh.
Crickster here, coming through Parabolica, he has the right to deny Joel a P2. He has the right to make Alpine have a 1-2 for the sprint race. Can he make it happen? Looks a bit squiggly coming out Parabolica. Crosses the line. Is it going to happen? No, he remains in P3. So that's saviour for Joel Foxall. That crash by Jay
Oh my
Robinson
god.
out of Ascari has saved him and been,
Oh.
kept him his P2 position.
Yeah, so I believe that does indeed wrap up Q3 there as we're just watching Josh. He's still sat in his car. He's unable to get out. But I presume the ambulance is assisting Jay Robinson at the moment, and then we'll be assisting Joel as that tyre is having an absolute party there. But yeah, Alpine and Ferrari will be on the pole position for the sprint race tomorrow. And there's lots of teams and engineers that are going to have to repair these cars for the sprint race tomorrow evening.
I must say, once again, the Mercedes a bit lacking in Q3 compared to their Q2 times.
Yeah, they're definitely looking very squiggly squaggly times.
Squiggly, squaggly, squiggly.
uh,
And,
um,
it's just not the best for Mercedes, is it?
no, yeah, Mercedes Garage won't be happy with Archie, and nor will pretty much any of the mechanics. Sorry. Oh my god.
I'll tell you
Sorry,
who is
just
happy
carry
though.
on.
Alpine, yeah, Alpine 100% again. Alpine are going to be happy with that. Andre saying P1 in all three qualifying sessions. So that is an achievement if I've ever seen one. If he can make a P1 on Saturday, P1 on Sunday, I think that is for possibly the best weekend you can ever have.
Yes. Sorry, I'm in a laughing fit. I've got no idea what's just happened there the last like 3 minutes of that session, but yeah, it'd be interesting to hear from the drivers' perspectives and what they've got to say, as it looks like it has just started raining at the Monza Grand Prix here. I'm not too sure why it's suddenly wet on the track, but yes.
Yeah, drivers got very lucky indeed.
Would
Not to
you
get hit
right?
by
Would you like to get some drivers in here to have their say on what
Yeah, I'll
happened in
do that.
in
Yeah,
this?
I'll do that. Okay,
And it's
give me a
lights out
second.
and squiggly squaggly we go. Oh,
Squiggly squaggly indeed. It's going to be wet. It's going to be slippery. It is going
oh,
to be absolutely
yes,
drenched.
the forecast is showing rain tomorrow, so it will be a wet sprint race tomorrow around here at Monza, which adds to the fun, it adds to the excitement, and it adds to the squiggly squaggly racing. As I'm not
I
too sure
agree.
which
I
drivers
definitely
we're
agree.
gonna speak with today. Let's go
Yeah,
and
I'll go
see.
grab someone. I'll
Of
go grab
course,
someone.
go for it. Interviews, let's go. Oh my god, right. Whew. Who is going to have their race spinaled? I'm not too sure. Not too
I
sure.
hello. I'm here with Joel Foxall, P2
Joel.
on grid for Saturday sprint qualifying.
Yeah, it's not a bad qualifying to say the least. Obviously, once again on my streak of let's say close but not close enough for pole. My opportunity with Max not being here and Andre pulls out the bag once again, but there
Oh, what?
is possibilities of yellow flags that is going to be looked at. That's what Jamie, the race director, was speaking with me about. There's a lot of yellow flags to be looked at, so anything can happen for anyone. So we'll see at the end. Obviously, Jay crashed and that caused a yellow flag, and Andre went and improved his lap with that yellow flag. So anything could happen. Obviously, I'm not gonna hope and say, "Oh, let's go. I might get pole position because of a penalty," because it's not the right way of getting it. Obviously, credits to Andre, but it's going to be a great race and it's first sprint of the season. I can't wait, and yeah, it's going to be really fun.
Absolutely, points to be handing out tomorrow and on Sunday. We did see that yellow flag course. It did stay there for quite a while.
Ouch. Sorry, I have some audio difficulties right now. I am being
Yeah.
max revs. Okay, sorry, I'm back.
Yeah, so we did see that yellow flag. It did seem like a few drivers didn't lift under that circumstance. Obviously, a DNF car on the exit, not probably the best place to go full throttle through. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see the outcome of the stewards probably within the next 48 hours. So well, 24 hours, I guess, before sprint qualifying.
Yeah, and Joel, are you a little bit of a shame to see Callum not make it through to Q3 to help you along, or I'm not too sure quite what happened there if you've heard from him?
Yeah, it's a shame. Obviously, the Alpines work very well together with slipstream each other down the straight, which obviously, with a one-man team essentially in Q3 trying to fight against someone that's pulling their teammate across the whole lap is very hard to do, and it's never going to be easy beating someone with a slipstream for a long part of the lap, assuming Andreas behind. I'm not sure, but yeah, Callum just had a lot of issues with the Lesmo today. He kept getting some floor damage. He got some floor damage in FP1 today, and I think just that Lesmo 2 and Lesmo 1, he's just struggling with a lot with setup. So definitely, if we can tweak the front wing maybe or something, just to make sure we're not getting too much oversteer on the exits, then it's definitely something the team will look at for him. Obviously, the race and sprint race is where the fun happens, the overtakes happen, and where the points come. So for us, qualifying is not a big focus. It's all about the race and how we can do in the race. And yeah,
I like that. It's a good little phrase. It's what we can do in
Right.
the race rather than quality.
Yep, I'll go grab one more person. I'll probably go grab Andre and Joel. Good luck in sprint qualifying tomorrow.
thank you.
Wish you all the best. Andre, hello.
Right, P1 in all qualifying sessions. You must be thrilled with that.
Yeah, I'm definitely thrilled. I definitely thought Joel has some more pace in him. I'm definitely impressed that I got pole position, but it's all about tomorrow and on Sunday to decide who's actually gonna win, because no points are awarded for qualifying. So we'll definitely see. Um, and then there's also that yellow flag situation was in his interview. Yeah, about that. Like I only spotted him. I only spotted him when I was actually just coming through the corner, and um, and maybe I could have backed off because I already had pole.
Just stop
According to his lap
speaking.
time
You're digging
before.
yourself a hole. You're
Yes, I
adding to
know.
the
I know.
evidence.
I guess I'm just making memes right now.
You do want to keep that time, Andre? Am I right?
Yeah, I want to
Okay,
keep
well,
that time for sure.
let's yeah, let's. I mean, you've
Let's
done
look
well.
at let's
You've
let's
got
just not
provision.
talk
You've got
about it.
pole essentially. So
Yeah, let's not talk about it anymore.
no. Obviously, you and your teammate worked very well though. Today, lots of driving around together. Lots of I don't know what you call it. Gaining slipstreaming. That's the one. Are you happy with your teammate's performance as well, getting P3 there, or do you reckon he could have got that P2?
He has been having some struggles with his pedals, but he
Okay.
should get some some new potentiometers. At least in, I think next weekend. I think it is next weekend. He might get some new pedals, and then we'll really see his true pace. But I'm definitely really stoked for him getting P3. He definitely worked really hard for it. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what he can do tomorrow. I've seen his face in the rain. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about his face in the rain.
Right, good luck to you and Alpine then tomorrow and on Sunday in the races then. Points to be made tomorrow and on Sunday. Not very, not a common occurrence you get to do that, but short season, lots of points to be gained, so good luck to you.
Thank you.
Right, I think to wrap it up, with the yellow flag on Q3, final laps being set, we saw that happen with Max Verstappen and Valtteri Bottas in Mexico a few years back. Max Verstappen already had pole, pushed for more even though he saw Bottas, and got a grid place penalty for that, dropped back a few places, and pretty much surrendered his pole position. So it'll be interesting if we see that in the league. Yeah, just very unfortunate for them. I think they've shown their pace, but I think they got a little bit too greedy.
Yeah, certainly. So obviously different weekend structures that we have. So be interesting to see if the drivers sort of conserve what they do tomorrow, or if they sort of go all out. For the race on Sunday as well. I'm not too sure on the point structure. I think is it 3 points for P1 tomorrow?
It's the top 8, so I believe P1 gets 8 points. So it is actually quite a lot of points to be get. Yeah. So even though Andre, dropped back a little bit, he can still get pole for Sunday and gain a lot of points. So I don't think it's going to be that detrimental to the Alpine team, even if that happens. But yeah, I'm just really excited for the race tomorrow.
Yeah,
first sprint qualifying of the season, anything can happen.
Exactly that. And the time tomorrow, it will be same time as today start. It was a little bit later today because of a few issues. But yeah, tomorrow 7:30 will be almost lights out anyway for the sprint qualifying round one, which is only it's a 25% race. And like Casper just said there, the top 8 drivers will be able to get points for the championship. And then we've got the 50% race on Sunday, and obviously the real life Imola Grand Prix is also happening just before in the afternoon, so don't miss that one.
Yeah, I believe we've got the league timings so that they don't interfere. So it shouldn't be a problem to watch the real life one and the Kenco F1 one if you are planning on doing that.
Yeah, the Kenco F1 one can be a bit squiggly. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Exactly. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've got anything else to say, Casper, or if we sort of wind it down here. But yeah, a massive thank you to everyone who has tuned in.
Yeah, I think from me that is everything. I'm just really glad to see the drivers putting in really good times. You know, fighting each other for pole position already, and already a lot of drama, and we're not even into the sprint race. So yeah, I just can't wait.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, thank you very much to everyone who has tuned in, and a GG to all the drivers for doing their best, and some of them for crashing into walls. But yeah, that's all to be expected. Bye.
Bye.
Boom, boom, boom.
Dun, dun.
Dun 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 dun.
Did you handle it well? Did you handle it well without me?
I'm still live, lol. Bye.
Oh.
It's calm. It's calm. Should I click the stop stream button? Should we press it?
Just keep streaming.
Should we just keep streaming for a minute? Should we just do a bit of a yeah? Okay. Well, yeah, that was what. Thank you, Casper, for the commentating. Hope you enjoyed your dinner.
Yeah.
The start was a little.
Yeah,
bit,
I did actually. Yeah. Can we get Casper for maybe? You know, Ted's
Hi
notebook.
chat. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Right, Ted's
Oh my
notebook.
god.
What's your opinion on the qualifying? Ted's notebook right here.
They're all ass. I'm so much better.
Oh, okay. I think that's time to end the stream. Thank you for watching.